Hey Gemini, what's up gang? I hope everybody is well. We're gonna go ahead and do a what is the tea on you reading. So basically, what are people saying about you right now? This is just meant to be entertainment purposes only, so I'm gonna go ahead and give the disclaimer now. If you don't really care, cool, you don't really have to watch. But if it does interest you, go ahead and stick around. Gemini, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box because that's going to have all the information that you would need to know. And yes, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe, you tribe. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that you're doing what's best for you. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you so much for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So we had the snake card that came out, and it did come out with the forces of nature. So it's almost giving that vibe of like the tea on you right now is basically that you are shedding a skin. I really feel that. I feel like there's been an immense amount of growth or change within you that is really noticeable to the outside world, okay? People could definitely be talking about how you're kind of different. You're still the same, right? You're still the same snake, but you are a little bit different, okay? There's something that has evolved or grown. People could be saying that you have an immense amount of wisdom, or there's something that's just very mature, elevated, and wise about you, Gemini. I'm getting that so strongly, okay? I'm also getting the energy that people could be saying that you have healing abilities, okay? Because the snake for me is a very healing animal. And there could be some energy of like, I want to say enchantedness or magic surrounding you. People could say that you're into magic, you do magic. On the shadow aspect of this, there could definitely be people who are saying that you use the forces of nature in your favor, that maybe you do some kind of magic to kind of shift the scales or make things work out in your favor better. All right, for sure, people could be saying that. I do feel like there's a lot of people that are really drawn into your energy, and people might get addicted very easy, Gemini, okay? So this could be one of the reasons why people maybe say that you put some kind of spell over people, or again, you manipulate things, manipulate the forces of nature to work in your favor, okay? And I can only see somebody manipulating the forces of nature by doing magic. I can see how else you would do that. Although some of you guys could really be into astrology, and maybe you use astrology as almost like a map, and so you kind of know what to expect ahead of time. I wouldn't see that as a excuse me, guys. I wouldn't see that as a manipulation. I would more see that as using the tool that has been given to you, which is what astrology is, okay? Astrology is a tool. It can be a map for you to basically chart out your path ahead, okay? So, yeah. But that is not for everybody, guys, all right? A shadow message to the snake could also be people saying that you're manipulative, you're two-faced, you're duplicit, there's something about you, they just can't put their finger on it, right? I feel like every time we do these readings, we do pick up on this hater energy that they just can't seem to put you in a box. They just can't seem to figure you out, Gemini. You are meant to stand out. You are meant to be different. And so that just, you know, it upsets people because I feel like they're basic bitch nation, but pretty much, I mean, you know? Like they easily fit into the box. They're easily figure outable, okay? People can easily look at them and be like, yep, you do this, you're that, you're this, right? But then when people look at you, it's like the more they know about you, the less they know about you. And so, yeah, that makes people feel intimidated, okay? All right, we're gonna use the Aesthetic Oracle too. Okay, so let's see. What's the tea on Gemini? What are people currently saying about Gemini or observing about Gemini, okay? What is the tea, Spirit? What's the tea? This desk is shaky, boy. Hold on a second. Okay, what is the tea? Wow, these two flew right out. We have Heartbreaker, not surprised by that. And then we have Me, okay? What is that song I'm hearing? It's gonna be May. What is that? I think that's Justin Timberlake or something. I don't know. Some people could definitely, okay, so the tea on you, Gemini, is that you are elevating, okay? You are different. People could definitely say that you're two-faced. Again, I was getting that energy. There could be something here where people may feel like, again, you use things or use people to your advantage to get ahead, okay? I'm going to stop here and give a disclaimer. This is other people's points of views. This is other people's bored ass opinions that they have, okay? So let's not take it personally. It's just, again, meant to be a little bit entertaining, possibly informative, all right? There could definitely be somebody who's attached to you that you had to put up a boundary against, you walked away from, you didn't choose, whatever it was, Gemini, and this person is definitely looking at you like you're a heartbreaker, okay? I also feel like people are looking at you as somebody who is self-made, but also self-focused, okay? Like with the star and the me, it just gives the energy of like, I'm focused on me, I'm focused on my journey, I'm focused on growing myself, for sure. Some of you guys, people could see you as somewhat of a celebrity or somebody who has a lot of popularity. I don't know who I read for, so maybe some of you guys are famous. That could definitely be something. And there's this energy of people looking at you like you leave a string of heartbreaks in your path, okay? I'm getting that so strongly. I'm also getting the energy of people feel like you, the T on you could be that people see you as somebody who likes to have the spotlight, Gemini. And again, you're not afraid to break somebody's heart if necessary, okay? Okay, this white buffalo woman gives us a little bit of a different message now. So I'm kind of getting the energy that some people see you as untouchable, because that's what she is very untouchable. She came here to basically teach people how to reconnect with spirit and how to reconnect with themselves, to spread spiritual information, knowledge, to be healing and helpful to the tribes. And all the men wanted to do was just rub up on her, okay? So she had to smite them, pretty much. So that could be something here with this heartbreaker. People could definitely be seeing you as somebody who's untouchable. You could have all these people that are like low-key fighting over you or something, or wanting something, like, you know what I mean? Like there's this energy here of, look, yes, the trap, okay? And that could be looked at as a trap. Like I don't, listen, me personally, I don't feel like it is. I'm getting the energy of people who be like, oh God, how dare Gemini be so beautiful, be so attractive, be so handsome, and then they don't even want to be with me. Like they tricked me, they seduced me. I wouldn't be acting like this if it wasn't for the fact that they, you know, gave me those puppy dog eyes, or laid it on thick, or were super charming, you know, it said just the right things. When we think about the snake, we can think about the snake in the Garden of Eden, right? And how he, or it, I guess you would say, really kind of finessed Eve into taking a bite of the apple, even though she wasn't supposed to, with basically that tempting energy, charming and, you know, saying all the right things, and basically giving like sneaky car salesman vibes, okay? So people could kind of take that. I feel like that's definitely an internalization or a projection or something, okay, that these people are definitely doing, okay? I'm just getting that energy here. But there could be something like that where people look at your energy as almost like a trap. Like Gemini is beautiful, right? Or handsome. Gemini has a lot going for them. Gemini has some kind of pizzazz or star status or something. But if you get too close to Gemini, you are going to end up getting your heart broken, okay? You are going to end up getting played, or you're going to fall into their trap, all right? So that could be something here, because, you know, I could see how the men of the tribe who are looking at this beautiful woman, it's almost like you can look, but you're never going to be able to touch. I could see how in a very toxic, egotistical way, they could see that as, oh, you're trying to seduce us, or you're a tease or something like that, okay? But Gemini, at the end of the day, nobody has a right to your energy, right? Like nobody is entitled to have you, no matter how you look, how you talk, how you come off. I know for a fact that Geminis are like the flirt of the, well, it's a tie, right? Because Geminis, Libras, and Sagittariuses are all kind of flirts. But Geminis are known as very flirty zodiac signs. And sometimes when we're just being nice, we're just being polite, or we are very charming, we do have a certain je ne sais quoi, as they would say to us, yeah, people can definitely interpret that as flirting. And then when they make a move on us and we're like, whoa, 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 that's not what I was talking about, or that's not where this was going, then it can be looked at as like, oh, well, you were leading me on. You know, you just like to flirt. You just like to play the game. You don't actually want to be serious with anybody. But really, you're just personable. You're charismatic. You're friendly. You can be a people person. You can be very sociable when you want to. A social butterfly is what they call that, okay? And yeah, butterflies flitter from one flower to the next. They don't stay in one spot, you know, and that's not what their whole purpose was anyways. So there's something here where people definitely see your attractiveness or your qualities that you have. I'm getting a lot of like personality, okay? People could definitely see that personality as somewhat of a trap. Like if you take the bait here that Gemini is offering, meaning just yourself, just your personality, how you are, you're gonna end up getting hurt. Okay, I see that very strongly, and I feel like actually people do try to set traps for you too. People, I'm getting this energy of like there's definitely people who want to humble you or want to put egg on your face. I'm getting like Carrie, where they put the pig's blood on her, like got her up there, and she was all dressed up and thought she was living the dream. The popular guy was showing interest in her, and she just was having a good night, and she deserved it too, because she was never really given her flowers. She was picked on a lot. She was looked at as like an outcast or weird, not attractive, okay? And then they had to go above and beyond to kind of like embarrass her. Like, was that really needed and necessary? I'm sorry. I empathize with her plight, and I can see exactly why she did what she did. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it was right or wrong. I'm just saying I can understand, okay? So I feel like there's something here where people have tried to do that to you. They've tried to humble you or embarrass you or put you in the position of where you're the one that's begging for their attention, not the other way around, okay? I do feel like your ancestors, your guides, your spiritual team, they do protect a lot of attacks or hits that get sent your way, okay? I get that very strongly here. Maybe people even try to set traps out for you to prove that you're not this white buffalo woman energy, male or female, and that you're just a heartbreaker, right? Like you're not who you say you are or who you claim to be. And I get for a lot of you, it's not even about who you say you are. I feel like it's just the energy that you exude and how you are. People assume that that's a lie, okay? There's also something here too with the spiritual team blocking the goal, and then the white buffalo woman that says that the tea on you is you are extremely protected, which kind of stokes people's envy a little bit more, Gemini, because I feel like people, first of all, don't understand why you have this star power, why you have this charisma or stunning personality. For some of you, extremely good looks, because she was known as very beautiful. And why like so many people are interested in you, and then when they try to take a shot at you, even the divine protects you. It's like people possibly do look at you like maybe you have pretty privilege, okay? Or it's same for males, okay? It's handsome privilege, but the term is pretty privilege, and that's basically where you get things just because you're attractive. You get the job, you get the person, you get to skip in line, okay? They'll give you extra cheese on your burger at the the fast food restaurant because they're like, damn, you deserve extra cheese, right? Like you never had to work hard for any of it. You've never been treated any kind of way. And anybody who is attractive, which I'm gonna guess that you are, Gemini, right? Just based off of what we're seeing here, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that yes, you are very attractive. Anybody who is really attractive, you will know that, yeah, sometimes that can work in your advantage, but also it can also cause problems too. People will treat you badly for no reason, okay? People will assume things about you for no reason. Because you're attractive, they assume you're a player. They assume you're a heartbreaker. They assume that your inbox is full of people wanting to be with you, and you just have your pick of the litter pretty much, okay? You can definitely be outcast because people are jealous of you. So it's not always like the greatest thing to be like super attractive or looked at in that way. It can kind of be a double-edged sword, okay? But I feel like if you were to try to explain this to people, people be like, oh, poor you. You're just so beautiful that people don't want to accept you. Here, do you need a tissue? It's giving that kind of energy. Like, I don't think people would be willing to step in your shoes and empathize, okay? They would never really be able to understand until they themselves were this talented, this charismatic, this attractive, this whatever, and then they would see that the problems it does bring to your life, okay? Gemini, I feel like a lot of people are extremely intimidated by you, and so, because I found like with incredibly attractive people, male or female, they don't get really approached as much as you would think. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like other people like get really intimidated and again, assume that their inbox is full of people just, begging for their attention, or they feel like they're way out of this person's league or whatever, so they don't ever actually make a move. So, I don't know. Most of the attractive people that I know are actually like not in relationships and are single and just working on themselves and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions here when it comes to your looks, your status, your charisma, okay? Things like that. The T on you, ooh, the hurricane. And this was on the bottom of the deck, so I'm not shocked that we have this energy out here. I do feel like Gemini, people look at you as a little bit of a storm, okay? Hurricanes, you don't really know they're coming until they're there, and of course we have the news now and we have these things like that. And if I'm sure indigenous, people back in the day definitely had some kind of way of looking at nature or something to predict that there was going to be storms. I'm sure they noticed around this time of the year there's usually storms and things like that to prepare and everything. But us modern people, we use the news, right? The news will tell us when a big storm is coming, whether it's a hurricane or whatever else, okay? But the thing about hurricanes is that for the first couple days before the actual hurricane gets to you, it's nice weather. It is usually extremely nice weather. Bright and sunny and like perfect, and you would never guess that there's like a huge ass storm barreling towards you unless you had the news, okay? So there's something there with that, with how people perceive you, and the T on you is that you're almost like a silent storm. And I feel like, it's unfortunate, but it is a shadow message here in this reading that people do look at you as destructive, manipulative, somebody who will just hurt you or cause problems or break your heart. These people sound fucking jilted as hell. I'm just gonna be real with you. It sounds like somebody you turned down, you asserted a boundary with, you did something better than them in some area, or again, this is their own insecurities and inadequacies that they're basically projecting onto you. They don't feel good enough, they don't feel accomplished enough, they don't feel attractive enough, so therefore there's something wrong with you because you're all those things that they wish they were, or they feel like they're more deserving of, okay? Standoff energy, which I think is kind of funny here because it's almost like people do. The T on you is that, again, I feel like there's something about you where you can be very calm, you can be very silent, you can be very loving, very giving, here to spread a message or here to enlighten people in some kind of way. Take it as it resonates. But there's also this energy of like, if you come towards Gemini with like this energy of like, I want to have a standoff, you will get it. Like, that's the thing, like, you will get the standoff, you will get the storm. There's something here about people see you as somebody who's always quick to kind of, reach for their weapon, Gemini. And I feel like your weapon for most of y'all is your mind, your mouth, okay? How quick you are, always there with a comeback or just 2 steps ahead. Like other people out here playing checkers and you're always playing chess. It's really giving that kind of energy. So yeah, Gemini, I do feel like there's something here where people see you as a little bit like I feel like a worthy adversary is the energy I'm getting. Like, especially for those people who are kind of psychotic and like the drama, they like fighting, they like the toxicity and the competition and things like that. Yes, you are definitely seen as a worthy adversary. And what's crazy about this too is I don't really feel like you're in competition with anybody. I don't feel like you're trying to prove anything to anybody. I feel like you're just being yourself. And again, a lot of you are here on some kind of spiritual mission where that is really taking the forefront of your life and your focus and things like that. And there's people who want to disrupt your energy so badly. Like, they really want to try to throw you off. And it's not enough to just get a reaction out of you. Like, they really want to just be destructive with this hurricane energy, okay? Whew, people are toxic, okay? I'm just saying. Let's get some tarot out here because I am curious. This heartbreaker energy, what is this talking about for the T on Gemini? I'm hearing that song from Taylor Swift. I've been hearing a lot of Taylor Swift lately, so I don't know if somebody's really into that or whatever, but I'm hearing that. Look, Spirit, come on, come through, Spirit. I'm hearing that song. Is it gonna be forever? Or are we gonna go down in flames? Baby, tell me when it's over. Something, something, was it worth the pain? Got a lot of star-crossed lovers. They'll tell you I'm insane, but I love the players and you love the game, or something like that, okay? That's a song that they're channeling to me right now. Oh Lord, Gemini, yeah, people definitely look at you like that. Like you have a messy relationship history. You do. And you haven't always been in the most favorable energy. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and act like Geminis are all complete angels. Like, you know, we've all have our dark side. Okay, we've all done some things that maybe we're not proud of and stuff. I'm getting a lot of like reformed players, reformed, you know, immature lovers type of energy here. Like maybe back in the day, a lot of us did play around or do this or do that. But I kind of get the energy that that's not how you are anymore, and people still want to label you by your past, okay? For sure, all right? But also, exactly what I was saying, Gemini, with this heartbreaker, the Queen of Wands, she is known as the most attractive queen in the deck, okay? Obviously, that's up to interpretation, okay? So take it as it resonates. But I am getting that energy here of like, people really do see you as extremely attractive, male or female, okay? They see you as very attractive, very charismatic, very charming. Again, you could charm a priest or a nun out of their underwear, okay? Like it's giving that kind of energy here. So yeah, people definitely see you as a little bit of a player, a little bit of a heartbreaker. And again, Gemini, whether that's warranted or not, I don't know, okay? I don't know. People could definitely see you as somebody who's a little bit of a homewrecker. Okay, a little bit, because I'm almost getting the energy of, I don't know, I'm almost getting the energy of somebody who maybe was in something very stable and they left that to come be with you. And even though it's looking less stable over here with the picnic instead of actual solid, you know, solid foundation here, there's a lot of happiness. Okay, so yeah, Gemini, the tea on you could definitely be that, you know, oh hell no. The songs they're channeling. Bitch, I'll steal your man. Bop, bop, bop. I'll take your man right out the box and put him under my padlock. Oh no, is that Salt and Pepper? I don't know who that is. He's huffing and puffing like a dog in heat. Go ahead, roll your eyes, suck your teeth, something like that. I don't know. There's something about that. So yeah, Gemini, people could definitely see you as somebody who took their man / woman, or would, or is willing to, okay? Broke up a happy family, just busted that shit all apart, okay? Which I beg to ask, how can you break up something? You can't just come in there, unless you literally go in there caveman style and knock their person over the head and drag them out of there. That person went willingly, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to excuse that behavior at all. It just is kind of like annoying when people don't really give the spouse the actual blame that they really deserve, because you're the one that's married, you're the one that's in a relationship, you're the one that sat up there before God, the preacher, and all your fucking family and took that vow. So you're the one that really needs to have some kind of accountability and say no. You know what I mean? But it seems like, Gemini, if there was some kind of situation where somebody's spouse got with you or something, you were definitely a tempter or a temptress that stole this person away. You broke up their family, you ruined their happily ever after. If it wasn't for you, their husband or wife would have never cheated, they would have never left, they would still be invested, they would still, like, you know what I mean? That's the energy I'm getting for some of you guys. There could also be this energy of the tea of if you never did take anybody's person, like, you know, but their person for some reason is attracted to you, wants to be with you, but you're not with that person. Yeah, they know, their spouse knows that their person wants to be with you. So there's this energy of like, you're still wrecking their house, you're still wrecking their family, even if you're not there. You're like a ghost that basically haunts their household, okay? Sheesh, that is some toxic energy, but that is what I'm getting here, okay? Yeah, look, oh Lord. Yeah, 3 of Swords, okay? Look, come through, Spirit. Okay, with the 4 of Wands, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's something here about like a home wrecker, right? And then you just go off on your way like it never happened. Find your next victim. It's giving that kind of energy, guys, for sure. Yeah, there's definitely people around you, but this would be a specific situation, Gemini. So if that doesn't resonate, then this part probably isn't for you, or this is just what people assume about you, okay, based off of your looks or based off of how you carry yourself or whatever, okay? They're giving me that scene from Practical Magic where the redhead, what's her name? Nicole Kidman. She comes in and she's like, yep, that's right, I'm back. watch your husbands, right? She's being sarcastic because all the ladies are like sitting there whispering about her and all this stuff. She obviously had a bad reputation, okay? So there's something here with that, all right, for sure. Yeah, definitely giving that heartbreaker vibes, or somebody who comes in, wrecks things, and then just goes on like nothing ever happened, okay? So, Gemini, I don't know, but that could definitely be the tea on you for sure. Now, if this is not talking about some kind of third party, whatever type of situation, this could definitely just be an ex who sees you as incredibly attractive, somebody who possibly uses their looks or uses their charisma to get ahead somehow, definitely used it to get ahead of them, took them for a ride, you know, then dropped them back down to earth and shit with a heavy thump. And then now that you're not chasing them, or you're not seeming like you're really affected by this breakup or this separation or whatever it is, Gemini, they're looking at you as somebody, well, they obviously plotted this. They obviously planned this, right? I don't feel like people give you enough credit for your actual internal strength that you have. You know what I mean? Like, Geminis are incredibly strong inside, and I don't think that's something that's really our zodiac signs get enough credit for. Like, that's not something that people usually mention when they talk about Geminis. But the fact that we have gone through so much, the fact that we do have such a high level of self-confidence and self-worth within ourselves to not stick around in situations that we don't deserve, people don't understand how much strength it actually takes. Like, some of you guys have had to walk away from people that you would have loved to be with, you would have loved to give your time and energy and attention to, but they were not treating you properly in whatever way that this is, okay, for you. So people are kind of looking at you of like, oh, Gemini did that on purpose, instead of Gemini has an incredible amount of strength and self-sovereignty where they're able to cut off their emotions and do what they need to do to protect themselves, basically, okay? Basically, yes. But I do feel like there's people out there that feel like you like wear people's hearts on your sleeve as like trophies. You know how like they say like a notch on the bedpost? Like, you're out here just wearing people's hearts on your sleeve like, yep, I conquered that one and that one and that one. It's giving that kind of energy, okay? There could definitely be people who are writing in their journal about you, or, you know, you're part of their healing story. You were the storm that came in that caused them to have to love themselves more so they can heal, which, hey, Gemini, we all play our role, right? I'm just saying, what is this me star about? This Hollywood star. What is this talking about for the T on Gemini? What is this talking about? We have the 3 of Cups, Gemini, okay? Yeah, I get this energy of like people, the T on you is that you do have a lot to celebrate right now. That's the thing, okay? For sure. There could definitely be this third party energy seems to be pretty heavy. So if that resonates, then just rest assured that yes, whatever that third party situation is, those people talk about you more than they talk about the current events going on, okay? Those people look at you and check upon you more than they look at and check up on their children. I'm just being real, okay? Like, you are definitely a topic of discussion in that house, in that relationship, whatever it is, okay? And there could be this energy of people saying that you feel like you're the star, you feel like you're number one in this situation, that you have rights to something. I don't know, it's giving that kind of energy. But without this third party type of energy on this 3 of Cups, because that's not all that the 3 of Cups talks about, I do feel like people do feel that you are incredibly intuitively guided, okay? Like, you just have a natural instinct for whatever it is that brings you this talent or this skill or this fame or this notoriety, okay? I feel like people, the T on you is that like you do have a lot to celebrate, okay? You do have a lot that's worth like raising your glasses up to, and you have a lot of people that celebrate you too. It's not all just haters. It is definitely not. Like, for some of you guys, you have a very large following, or you just have a lot of favor. This could be even at your work, okay? Like, your company, people in your company could generally like you. There might be a couple bad apples that really don't, you know? But for the most part, people are celebrating you. People are encouraging you. People are positive in regards to you. People believe in whatever this is that you want to accomplish, or they support you moving forward. So I'm really getting that energy here. 2 of Cups. I feel like, Gemini, the T on you could be that you are your own soulmate. I'm just saying. And to add another person to the equation, this would definitely be a third party. It'd be you, your busted ass twin, and whoever this person is that's coming into this relationship that you already got going on with yourself. I'm telling you, there's something like that. Like where people are like, if I want to be with Gemini, I'm gonna have to be with Gemini and Gemini, okay? Because there's a Gemini and then there's a Gemini. It's like there's two of you, okay? So I don't know, there's something about that. And there could be people who are definitely willing to give that a go. Like there's definitely, I mean, I've seen a lot of Geminis that are in healthy relationships. I know it's kind of like that mystical unicorn type of energy because for some reason our zodiac sign just struggles when it comes to love. I'm not gonna say it's all everybody else's fault either. Like we do have a lot of growing up to do in certain areas, and we do crave our independence and things like that, okay? But I just feel like there are people out there who are happy and fulfilled and in long-term connections that are extremely healthy, and they are Geminis. And I feel like those people might be doing some kind of witchcraft. Not the Gemini, but the people who captured the Gemini. Like they're definitely doing some kind of love spell, and they did something, I don't know. Or they just give Gemini the space they need to be them. That's the thing, okay? Anyways, yeah, this star, this Hollywood star, I feel like this is definitely talking about how far you're gonna go. Like the T on you, Gemini, is that you are gonna go very far. If you don't feel like you're accomplishing anything, or you're not noticed, or you're not gonna be anything, you're not gonna amount to anything, like you got another thing coming. Okay, because I'm getting this energy of like the T on you is that you're mastering something right now. You're really putting a lot of work and effort into whatever it is that you are developing. With the Eight of Pentacles, that's one of my cards of developing mastery, okay? It's giving like a little bit of the Hermit vibes too for some reason. So there could be something here where it's like you do spend a lot of time, again, self-focused, focused on yourself, focused on growing yourself. And maybe the only time that you really ever come out of your bat cave and into the wild is when you're being celebrated by something, or it's time for you to like, they're giving me the peacock, which is crazy because that's usually a Leo energy. But we pick up on Leo a lot in this channel, so some of y'all really do have heavy Leo in your chart. Or you just take on the energy of a Leo, okay? But they're showing me the energy of like the peacock and how it just like kind of sits there in its little area. I don't know where peacocks kind of sit. But it just kind of sits there, and basically the gist of it is it comes out, it does its little shaky thing and just like releases its feathers, and everybody goes ooh ah, and then it just goes ahead and waddles back to its little sitting area and then just does peacock shit. I don't know what the fuck a peacock does, you know what I'm saying? But I get that kind of energy here. Like people really feel like you do put on a good show. So for some of you, if you are, because I don't know who I read for, okay? So if you are kind of well known, or you do some kind of singing, dancing, acting, any kind of art, or you perform something, maybe you do gymnastics or acrobat, or maybe you're in the freaking circus, whatever it is, maybe you do like poetry on stage, I don't know, whatever it is, Gemini, where you're up there and you're kind of displaying yourself for people really do find you to be quite talented. Like they do. That is the truth. Even if it burns them up and they really don't want to admit it, even if they don't admit it, that's the thing. Like I feel like some people don't. Like they'll refuse to give you your flowers, but they still come watch you. Okay? They still come watch you. Or they still can, like within themselves, they'll still see, yeah, within themselves, they still notice you are the star. You are going places. So people definitely see you as very fortunate, Gemini. And again, I am kind of getting that energy of like touched by the divine here. The forces of nature definitely favor you, especially the more that you do start to shed your skin and the more that you work on yourself, it's like you gain even more favor. Okay? Or what are they giving me? They're giving me the energy of like karmic debts being erased. And some people don't feel like that's fair. I don't know what people expect, like people to suffer forever or something. So let's just say, Gemini, that back in the day you were a little heartbreaker or whatever. Okay, you did your little whatever, you know, you did some things. Okay, but you've turned over, like I said, I'm getting a lot of reformed players or a lot of reformed, like fuck boy, fuck girl type of energy. And so people who are still jilted and still hurt, like they will never let that shit go. I'm not trying to discount what you've done to them or what's happened here, Gemini. I'm just saying they're never gonna let it go. they really look at you now as somebody who's thriving, surviving, doing really well, being favored or being blessed, and they think that shit's unfair. Like, no, Gemini should suffer forever, just like I have to suffer forever. The only difference here is the only one that's really grown and changed here is you, Gemini, because again, you're the one shedding your skin. They're the ones that wants to stay stuck in a sad story and play the victim for the rest of their life. Again, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter what you've done. I mean, I don't know, guys. I've been on every end of the fucking spectrum here. I've been the heartbreaker and then I've been the heartbroken. So I can see both angles here. But either way, at some point, you have to kind of move on, right? You can't let that become your story. Like, Jesus, if I let it become my story every single time I've been cheated on, good God. Okay? Because it's been a lot. All right? So I'm just saying, there's just a situation here where it's like somebody just refuses to let go of the past. They refuse to let go of what's happened to them, and they want to stay in victim mode. Okay? And they see you sitting here thriving, doing better. Definitely the wheel is turning in your favor, Gemini, and they're upset about that. Again, there's some people that are definitely not upset about that. You do have support. You know, you do. And some of you, it might just be spiritual support, but either way, you do have support out here on these streets, okay? We got the Ace of Cups coming out. I do feel like, again, a healthy self-focus here, a lot of self-love. 3 cups plus the Ace of Cups is 4 cups. So there could be this energy of like, you're not willing to give energy into anything that doesn't feel like it's worth your time, doesn't feel like it's going to water you, you know? If you have to choose between being in a relationship or being healthy, you're going to choose being healthy. Like, you're not the type of person that's just going to run to a relationship just to be in a relationship. So if it starts to get toxic, or it starts to drain you, or it starts to feel like you're giving more than the other person's giving, or anything that you deem a red flag, you are going to take all that energy that you were willing to put into that connection and you're going to pour it into yourself. Okay? So there's something here where you do have healthy boundaries and your cup is overflowing because you recognize that not everybody is deserving of that energy. I feel like I'm talking to not only reformed players, but also reformed people pleasers. Okay, so like, you had to learn the hard way, and possibly even several times, okay, that people will take and take and take and take as long as you are willing to give and give and give. And there's also people that feel very entitled to your energy for whatever reason. They feel entitled to come in here and sleep with you and flirt with you and be with you and show you off, take your money, you know, what is it, clout chase, coat ride, all that good shit, where it's like, you know, they feel like, oh, well, Gemini has more than enough, so I'm deserving of it. I can come in here and take it. You don't need it. Your cup's already full. And it's like, yeah, but the overflow is mine too. Not only what's in the cup, but the overflow is also mine, and I'm the one that gets to determine if I give that away or not. I don't have to give it away. You know, Spirit had told me a long time ago that there's different ways to heal. It's not just about giving, giving, giving all the time. Sometimes when you're giving to yourself, you are healing to others because you're teaching other people how to put themselves first. You're showing other people the advantages, and the benefits of when you do care about yourself, when you do, again, love on yourself first, have healthy boundaries, say no to others. You're showing others that I should be more like that too, because Gemini is protected, they're happy, they're healthy, they're doing very well, and they don't feel the need to give and to help and to always constantly be there for everybody. You know, they can be there for themselves. So Spirit gave me that lesson a long time ago, that sometimes the healer is really just focusing on healing themselves, but in turn they're healing those around them. That can really be said for a lot of people who are going through like these generational patterns, also known as generational curses, but I don't like to say generational curses because I don't think it's a curse. I feel like they're patterns that are meant to be broken, and cycles, obviously, that are meant to be closed out. So that can be said for those who are going through that, because, you know, you can talk till you're blue in the face and try to tell somebody, yes, you should stop smoking, you should stop drinking, you should stop eating bad, you should stop dating these losers that are only using you, right? But until you actually show them the benefits by doing that for yourself in your own life, they're not going to listen. It's like one of those energies where like, I can show you better than I can tell you, you know? And people really, since they're watching you, they stuck up your ass anyways, Gemini watching you, yeah, they're going to see how happy you are doing what is best for you, okay? So let's see, what is this white buffalo woman out here in regards to the T on Gemini here, the T? We have the 8 of Cups, interesting, 8 of Cups, that's 9 cups with the Ace of Cups, okay? And then we have the 3 of Pentacles. So Gemini, I feel like you follow Spirit's orders. That is the T on you. And that might make people a little nervous. People might be afraid to get too invested in you in regards to anything, really. Friendships, family, love, money. People could feel like at the drop of a dime, if Spirit says, okay, no, it's time to move on from this. It's time to turn your back, excuse me, and leave this behind. Like, you're going to do it. That's the thing. You're going to do it. And it's like, people are like, well, what about me? What about me? Okay. So there's something about that where Gemini, you will follow Spirit's orders, because the 8 of Cups for me is a neutral card. I say that all the time. It's not necessarily a negative. It's not necessarily a positive, okay? In the traditional 8 of Cups, we do see a moon up here that always makes me feel like this person is being guided by their intuition or spirit, okay? And even if they have some things infested in this, it's like, it's not enough to satisfy this person, so they need to move on. They're feeling the inner call. It's kind of like the lower level of the Judgment card for me, where you're feeling the call from Spirit to move forward or to move on or to do this, do that. That's the energy that the 8 of Cups is giving me, okay? So yes, you definitely are the type of person who will follow Spirit's orders, for sure. Okay, and you know that that's the thing, is like you have no problem following Spirit's orders, at least the group that I'm talking to. You have no problem following it, because you know that it benefits you. You know that Spirit is not going to lead you astray, even if you're not being led to the most ideal path, or there's things that happen that maybe feel like it's disruptive, okay? You understand the lesson behind it. You understand the experience. This is definitely for the spiritually enlightened that see the higher perspective in everything and don't put themselves in the victim mode. There's nothing wrong with admitting and acknowledging that, yes, bad things have happened to you. Bad things do happen to good people all the time. Okay, and you can look at things as they're unfair. There's nothing wrong with that. Some things are unfair. But it's also about, again, whether you're going to attach an identity to that and live through that lens for the rest of your life. Are you going to live through the lens of, I'm a victim of my circumstances, or I'm a warrior within my circumstances? Okay? And I feel like, yeah, a lot of you choose joy, you choose happiness, you choose to be the warrior within your circumstances, okay? There could also be this energy as the T on you is like you are kind of like a traveling minister. I don't know who that would be for, but take it as it resonates. Or a traveling, like there's something where you go from person to person, group to group, okay? There could be something like that where you do like missionary work or something, okay? That could be the T on you, or that maybe you should do missionary work or something here, but it is giving that energy for some of you guys, because the white buffalo woman did kind of just appear out of nowhere, and then, you know, got invited to the tribe and then spread her word and help people reconnect with the Great Spirit and all of that stuff. So there is something about that when it comes to this energy for some of you guys, for sure, okay? I had another message, but it left me just as quick as it came, so maybe it wasn't important. Let me get something else on this white buffalo energy for Gemini and the T on Gemini. Ooh. That's going to be too much for me, but I am getting with the 5 of Wands in reverse that y'all will walk away from drama. Yeah, walk away. Okay, for sure. Like you will. You will walk away. You will put your peace of mind above everything, for sure. Okay, let me get one card, please, if possible, for this white buffalo energy for Gemini and the T. We have the High Priestess coming out, not surprising. Gemini, you are incredibly psychic, incredibly intuitive. Even if you don't deem yourself to be psychic, even if you're not reading tarot or you've never even touched a tarot deck in your life, okay? You know, some of you guys, you are, though, seen as incredibly intuitive, incredibly psychic. You're seen as this type of energy that can really just like see things coming a mile away, read people like the terms and conditions. Somehow they always know when I'm lying, or they know when somebody else isn't being real. or they can sense things. Some of you guys could even be like a profiler or something for like the law enforcement or something, okay? Like before I knew what my psychic gifts were and my intuitive abilities, because I've always been good at reading people. But my problem is that I give people the benefit of the doubt too much. I'm learning to do that less in my later years of life. But my problem has never been not seeing people for what they are. It's always been giving people the benefit of the doubt and seeing better in them than what they're actually capable of and living off of that potential. That's just on some side shit. That's always been my issue. But once upon a time, I did want to be an FBI serial killer profiler because I was incredibly good at reading people and their intentions and who they were deep down inside, and just reaching down deep and snatching out that shit that they don't want to talk about. Like I've always been really good at doing that. But once I kind of grew into my gifts and realized like what this actually is, I see that that's probably not something I really would have wanted to do. I don't think I would want to chill with serial killers all fucking day long. I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? Now, for those of you that are definitely psychics and you know you're a psychic and maybe you do read tarot or runes or palms or energy or whatever the hell it is, Gemini, like you know that you're a psychic, yes, that is the motherfucking tea, okay? That you are accurate, pinpoint accurate. You are definitely able to, I feel like, sway devil energy back to the light side. That's for some of you guys, okay, for sure. But I feel like you are able to suss out the negative energy in people. Like people definitely see you as somebody who is just incredibly psychic here. Some of you guys, the tea on you is that you can make a lot of money off of your psychic gifts. If you're not, you could, right? There's a potential there for you to make a lot of money off of your psychic gifts, all right? The thing about the white buffalo woman is that she didn't like demand anything in return, except for respect. Like if you respected her, she would go and she would definitely teach you about, you know, how to connect again with spirit, how to connect with yourself, how to remember the grace of spirit, all right? But she wasn't like, okay, and now that's gonna be 5 million beads, right? Like she didn't accept a payment or anything for it. The payment was, you respect me, I will respect you, okay? So for some of you, you're not out here doing this as like a full-time job, like this isn't your main source of income to be a psychic or anything like that. But people do see the potential for you to do that, and they feel like you could really make serious bank, okay? For others of you that do psychic work and as like for a living, yes, that is the tea. That you are well known in your field, and that people will gladly pay whatever they can, whether that's money, whether that's just giving you some food or a homemade pie or something like that, like, you know, yeah, there's definitely that energy of like people would, you know, if you're not though, I kind of get the tea here is that people wish you were, because people want to be able to get personal readings from you, or they want to be able to see what you see for them, okay? There's something about that with you being the oracle and people just being like, I'm in desperate need of help and I wish that you would be able to sit here and talk to me one-on-one and give me some of your energy. It's kind of giving the energy of when Jesus was making his way through the crowd and somebody was just like, I just need to touch Jesus's, like, what was it, his robe or whatever he was wearing, like I just need to touch it. And so they were like clawing their way, and I think they had like a bleeding, if I'm remembering correctly, okay, I think they had like a bleeding condition or something like that, and they knew that if they were just able just to touch Jesus's garment that they would be healed. So they went out of their way to try to find Jesus and then just try to touch. And as soon as he was touched, he recognized it. And he was like, who touched me? And I think he healed her or whatever, if that story is correct, if I'm remembering that correctly, Gemini. But that's the kind of energy I'm getting. Like people really, I'm not saying that you're Jesus. There's only one Jesus, okay, guys? I would never say that. But I feel like you carry some kind of essence of chosen energy like that and of healing energy, where people would look at you like if they could just touch you, or they could just be in your presence, or they could just get advice or guidance from you one-on-one, you could really help them, okay? Let's get into this storm energy. What is the storm energy talking about for Gemini? For the T, please. The T on Gemini. What is the storm energy, this hurricane? Yeah, it's kind of given the same vibes because I really do feel like these two cards are kind of an echo of what we talked about. So I'm gonna be brief with these ones, but it's kind of giving me that same energy of people, they feel like you just ghost people, you turn people away, you don't realize how you emotionally hurt people or damage people because of the lack of attention or the lack of commitment or investment that you're willing to give to people, okay? People could also see you, though, on the other side of the coin, Gemini. They could see you as somebody who gets a little destructive if you're ghosted. Like, if you're it's kind of giving the energy of, like, you can dish it, but you can't take it. But some of you didn't even dish it. Like, for those of you that I'm talking to where it's like, you never ghosted anybody, or, like, you didn't ghost this person at least, and then they have the nerve to ghost you, it's kind of giving that energy of somebody who loses their shit. They're showing me Hades from the Disney movie Hercules when he gets pissed and his head bursts into flames. Sorry, guys. That's the energy that they're giving me, though. And it's like, oh, I actually gave you the motherfucking time of day. Like, I actually gave you attention. I actually gave you the time of day. And you're gonna ghost me? Like, it's giving that kind of energy. Like, yeah, I feel like Gemini, if somebody does ghost you that you were really into, you take that shit kind of personal, which, hey, you know what I mean? I feel like you do. You take that shit kind of personal, and people see the stormy side of you that maybe they weren't aware of. And that could be people, that could end up making people kind of validate the energy of like, well, see, that's why I didn't give your crazy ass a chance. Like, you know what I mean? But I get the energy of like, you wouldn't have been crazy had they not went there, but they decided to. So it kind of unleashed the hurricane within you. I'm just getting that energy. Some of you guys could really be a fan of the football team, the Hurricanes, which is a South Florida team. I think it's Miami Hurricanes or something like that. Take it as it resonates, okay? But yeah, I'm getting that energy of like, if people ghost you, people ignore you, you look at that as like the ultimate betrayal. If people don't give you the attention you feel like you're deserving of, if people won't open their heart up to you when you're trying to open your heart up to them. Again, it's giving that energy of like, I don't open myself up to just anybody. I'm doing it for you. And then how dare you not do it back? Like, so yeah, it's giving a little bit emotionally immature, Gemini, but again, there's no judgment here. Like, honestly, guys, we have all been there. Like, we have all been there, okay, for sure. You have a lot of love to give, whether you like to admit it or not, Gemini. You are quite an emotional person. Maybe you do let your logical side rule you, but there is also another emotional side to you, okay? You're very in touch with your emotions, maybe sometimes a little too in touch with them, okay? I could definitely see you as people describing you as a little moody. That's for damn sure, okay? It's funny too, because a lot of people who have been in my email, just to say hi to me or, oh, I appreciate you or whatever. I've had a lot of people say the same thing to me. What attracted me to your channel was the name, the Moody Tarot, because people will be like, yeah, I'm moody. I'm moody as fuck. So I feel like that's something that Geminis really do have in common. Like, yeah, we're a little bit moody. It's true, okay? Like, just a little bit. Yeah, and I feel like you're just like, fine, little weak ass bitch. Little dumb ass bitch, little stupid ass bitch. I feel like there's something like that where you're like, go ahead, ghost me. I'll show you. I'll become the richest bitch in the world and then you'll be regretting it. Like, there's like something like that where like the rejection, if you get rejected, Gemini, it really does fuel your bounce back game. And then you make these people end up feeling rejected. Ain't that a bitch? Okay, like they're the ones that rejected you, and then yeah, you lose it a little bit, okay? And then you go ahead and you use that as fuel, like this being tossed out, right? This 5 of Pentacles with Ace of Pentacles, or with the Queen of Pentacles, 6 Pentacles, again, 6 Pentacles over here. So your money definitely is something that you focus on. And then you end up doing better, growing, becoming grounded, becoming more stable, and then these people end up feeling jilted. They end up feeling left behind and ghosted when they're the ones that really had that opportunity and that chance to be by your side. Like they did, but they chose to play with your heart. So you had to cut it, right? Cut it. Cut it. Them prices way too high. You need to cut it, okay? There's something about that. Some people could feel like your prices are way too high, but listen, it's all about what you feel your own value is, It's funny because I had a client, I don't know if she still watches me or not. I think she does because she's in my Patreon. But I had a client at one point and she told me that there was this guy who was selling books, you know, like basically on the side of the road or whatever. And it was his life story that he was selling. And she had picked up the book, you know, and she was reading the back of it, and it was kind of interesting and everything. And I think she said the book was like $20 or $25 or something like that. And she was just sitting there within herself. She was kind of grappling back and forth, like, do I want to buy this? Do I not want to buy this? And the guy noticed that she was kind of arguing with herself inside of whether or not the price was fitting or not. And he's like, oh, I could lower the price for you if you like. And she told him, no. You don't lower the price. You have created this, and you have set this price because that's what you feel that it's worth. It's up to me as the person who's buying it to decide if I feel like that's worth it. But you have already decided that that's worth it, and you need to stand by what you feel you're worth. She did end up buying the book. I feel like she kind of had to after that speech, because it would have been really fucked up if she would have been like, but now I'm going to walk away, right? But I just feel like there's something there with that, Gemini. Like, if people think your prices are too high or you charge too much, even if it's not psychic work, it could be anything. Again, your artwork, your cross stitching, your candles, your whatever, okay? Whatever you do. Okay? If people feel like your prices are too high, that's really their issue. That's not your issue. That's something for them to decide if they feel like it's worth it. But you have already decided that you're worth it, so you need to stick by that, okay? That's just for somebody. I'm just getting that energy. Yeah. You spend a lot of time, a lot of hard work developing something, Gemini. You deserve to be paid what it's worth. What is this trap energy? This trap energy for the T on Gemini. Yes. Did I not tell you? That's exactly what I'm getting. And then just leave them. Just leave them heartbroken, crying, and slobbering, and snotting all over themselves. Like, there's something here with that where people really do see you as somebody who comes in, gets their energy all aroused and whipped up and all in a frenzy and shit, and then you're gone. Gone! Okay? Like, it's giving that kind of energy. You're like, okay, bye, on to the next. I don't know. I'm not saying that's how it really is, Gemini. That's just the T. Like people do, like you throw up the deuces. I always tell you guys all the time, it looks like that's what she's doing, like deuces, okay? That's what I'm getting though. People do feel like it is a little bit of a trap to get connected, attached to your energy, because one of these days you're gonna be gone. You're gonna be gone, and you're always like on to the next or looking for the next thing, you know, looking towards the future, planning what else is out there, what else is new. You got that shiny crow syndrome. So if it's new, if it's shiny, you're gonna flutter over here, you're gonna flutter over there. Like I said, you're like the butterfly going from flower to flower to flower. And we can't blame the butterfly for that. That's what the butterfly is meant to do. You know, it's the flower's problem if flower wants to get it. Listen, if the flower wants to get attached to the butterfly, knowing damn well this flower's been sitting there all day watching this butterfly go from flower to flower to flower, and then when the butterfly finally comes to it, and it's like, I'm going to be the one that changes Gemini. I'm going to be the one that makes, you know, them stay and makes them commit and makes them change their entire lifestyle and their way. Well, that we can't really blame the butterfly for that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that is the nature of it for some of you guys, okay? So there could be this energy where, again, your energy kind of gets people all whipped up. Which, Gemini, I'm just going to be real with you, because if I can't be real with you, then what can I be? Okay? So I'm going to be real with you. I have been on the other end of the Gemini heartbreak, and it fucking hurts, okay? It hurts when a Gemini is obsessed with you and treats you like you're the only person on the planet, and then the next day, like, you don't even fucking exist. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not seeing your name on the list, boo, okay? Like, it's like that kind of energy. I have been on the end of that, and it really does suck, okay? So just from an outsider perspective and somebody that's been through it, yes, our comeback game, our move on game, our cutoff game can be very severe. You know how, like, they say, like a katana sword is so sharp that if you were to get your arm sliced off, you wouldn't even feel it until your brain recognizes that the arm's fucking missing. Like, it's giving that kind of energy, Gemini. Like, your cutoff game is so severe that sometimes people didn't even know you cut them off until their brain had to kind of connect the dots, and they kind of had to see, oh shit, Gemini fucking cut me off. What the fuck? Like, I thought this bitch was obsessed with me. Now they're not. Like, it's giving that kind of energy, and I can see why that would make people look at you as a little bit of like a player or a heartbreaker. I'm just being honest. Let's be honest. Let's just be real, okay? I'm just being honest, all right? I'm not saying that you do it on purpose. I'm just saying that it can kind of feel that way. It can feel a little bit like a trap, okay? Oh, Lord, Gemini. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting, okay? Definitely. Let's get some more advice and additional messages, and then we're going to end this, because this is a nice, healthy hour reading, which I like to make these ones a little bit longer because they're entertaining. They're not meant to be taken too seriously, you know. So we have the Wizard. Use your skills to aid others. Yeah, Gemini, and people feel like you should. You should use your skills to aid others and not wound others. That's how people might feel, or that's what the T on you is, possibly. But also, again, for those of you that are doing something, you've been building something up, you do have some kind of talent or ability or notoriety within something. Yeah, people feel like you do. That's the thing. That's why I feel like people get so upset, because it's like you are an enigma or something. Like you're very multifaceted. Like maybe in some ways you can be very hurtful or you can do harm, but then in other ways you do a lot of good, okay? So it's like people can't really land on how they feel about you sometimes. And yeah, it could make people a little thirsty for your energy, but that's what I was basically saying in the beginning, when I feel like you can look at people sometimes and be like, yep, this is what you are, that's what you do, that's how you feel, this is, you know what I mean? But then when they look at you, it's like, I have no idea. Because one day you're like this, the next day you're like this, and they both seem to fit. They both seem like they're not an act, so I don't really know. But, you know, Gemini, your motto is really, one of your mottos anyway, is really like this and that are true, okay? Both can be true when it comes to a Gemini. So I'm just kind of getting that energy, Gemini. Like some of you guys are a wizard, or you are a witch, or you are a spiritualist or something. You do have some kind of magical powers. Some of you guys definitely have very strong hands, okay? Like very powerful hands, like very healing hands. And that can be also the energy here too when you put your hands on people, or you are, again, a Midas touch. So everything you touch turns to gold, and then when you're not touching somebody, all of a sudden their life turns to shit, and then they see that everything that they had or everything that was going well for them, it was just because you were in their life. It wasn't actually because of them. Like, yeah, that can be a harsh reality and rude awakening for some people. I'm just saying. Fate has blocked this path for you, would let your intentions be known. I feel like that's kind of you. I'm gonna be honest, like you have your little crystal ball, you're looking, you can see ahead, and you will block some shit out instantly. Like you don't need for it to play out. We don't need to see where this goes. We don't need to learn this lesson. We definitely don't need to learn the hard way, right? Like if I'm sussing the red flags or I'm feeling this type of way, okay. And for some of you guys, you're even elevated enough to know that even if you're projecting, even if you're internalizing, you still don't want to go down that road because you know that it's going to end up ending in pain. Like, you know what? It's like kind of like, yeah, I possibly could be being triggered by you, and maybe you are trustworthy and I'm seeing you as untrustworthy because I have some issues to work out. But you know what? I still don't want to do it because what's going to end up happening is fighting, drama, arguing, and I'm good. Maybe I'm not healed enough to be with you. You're right. Like it's giving that kind of energy for some of you guys. Like, so you will block paths as needed, okay? I feel like people might also, the T on you is like, people might feel like you have blocked a lot of paths. Yeah, this is a sail away, okay? I don't know why I'm getting that energy off of this, but I really am with the serendipity. Oh, sorry guys, we saw me spit. It says, bright new prospects are on the horizon. I'm sorry, Gemini. Damn. I'm sorry. I'm just getting this energy of people feel like you are the T on you is that you are the cutoff king, the cutoff queen. And I feel like people get really bitter about that too, because they know that if you sit there and tell them, whatever, bro, I don't need you. You literally a dime a dozen, okay? To the left, okay? If you got something like that, you tell people that, like, they believe it and it sucks. Like, there's this thing like, you're right, you probably will have somebody new in a week. Fuck off. Like, there's something like that, okay? Like, I feel like people get pissed. I don't know, Gemini, but yeah, I do feel like there's this energy here. This is funny. Sorry. I feel like there's this energy here where, yeah, people do see you as on to the next or just on to bigger and better things. It doesn't necessarily have to be only in regards to like love. This could be work too, or friends or anything like that. So we have the Chimera. Imagination clouds your judgment. I can see this two ways. The first way I could see this is that, again, that energy of where you're very nice, you're very personable, and people take it as you're in love with them, and then they get in their feelings, and you're like, bro, imagination was definitely clouding your judgment, because all I did was like say hi, flirt a little bit, like, you know, I don't know, Gemini, okay? That's for some of you guys. For others of you, people could say, like, you do feel like you're this white woman, buffalo energy, male or female. Like, maybe you walk around here like you're Jesus Christ, Krishna, or something, and you're out here to save the world, and bitch, no. Okay? How can you save the world when you're breaking hearts? Like, there's something about that, Gemini. I feel like there's something here where people do see you as a little bit delulu, but at the same time, it works for you. So who the fuck is really the joke here? I'm just saying, okay? Because if it works, right? But there's something here about that where people might see you as a little bit like, I don't know. I am getting that, like a little bit delulu, okay? For some of you guys. Anything else before we go? Anything else? We have the moon. You will be guided through the darkness. And that is the T. Like I had said, you have a lot of protection here, okay? So there's this energy here of like where people see you as being guided through the darkness. You're guided by the light. And that's why I feel like this energy of like imagination clouding your judgment. It's feeling a little bit like a hater, because is this protection fake? Are these blessings fake? Right? Is this intuition that's reading you to fucking filth right now fake? Probably not. Okay, so it's kind of giving that energy here of like, who's really the delulu one? You know, when you don't want to face reality, you don't want to face what's right in front of you just because it makes you feel bad about yourself. You know, I can't really do that. I'm not your therapist, okay? I definitely don't get paid enough to be your therapist. So there's something here where it's like people are seeing that. You are guided through the darkness, like you do have strong intuition. You are very heavily protected. And you seem to have some kind of spiritual path or spiritual purpose, okay? Whew. All right, Gemini. Well, that has been your reading. I do hope that it helps. I hope it resonates. I hope it does something. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.